Welcome to the Language Podcast. I'm your host, Jada Marie, and we got some things to talk about. Today, I have a special guest. A special guest. He goes by Tim Taylor. Y'all, ain't that a name that y'all could just like see on y'all screens? I know
Yeah,
it's a very sophisticated name, but we have Tim Taylor. This is my best friend's brother, but Tim is my best friend. Tim is
period.
out here doing great things. He is a senior at Clark Atlanta, whoop whoop,
Yeah,
graduating spring of 2025. So Tim is doing great things, always doing great
thank you.
things. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I cannot keep up with Tim. Like he got something new every week, but that just shows the work that he puts in. Tim has a photography company called Don Flicks Photography, and he has a clothing brand called Chasing Aspirations. So Tim is going to share his journey, just college, what that means to him, where he is today, and what he has going on. But before we get into your journey, Tim, we start with the check in over here at the language. I'm going to go ahead and go first. Today, I'm feeling good. I know I kind of been on an emotional roller coaster with things that are going on in the world, but I'm taking these tragedies and I am trying to figure out how we can take action, how we can help. It's very sad to see the things that people are going through. Of course, feel what you need to feel, but right away, try to get into action and help where you can. Like I said on my last episode, if you do want to support, donate, help wherever you can to the people who lost their homes and things in LA, you can reach out to me. I know people that are doing tremendous work to help their community and give people the things that they need during these hard times. Tim, how are you feeling?
I'm doing pretty well. Can't complain. I'm
Yeah.
very honored that you thought of me to invite and bring onto your show. So I'm feeling honored and very special. I'll say that.
Good, good. You should, cause you make me when I hear your accomplishments, it brings happy tears to my eyes. I sometimes feel like I'm like living through Tim a little bit because sometimes I feel like your journey, like you are making things happen. And when I was in school, I just felt stuck. So every time I hear your accomplishments, I'm always clapping, happy for you.
Thank
Since
you.
Tim is going to school for film, Tim, let me know, what have you been watching lately?
I'll start with this, and I'm kind of late with this show, but a show that I really fell in love with as of recently is Breaking Bad. And yeah, Breaking
Okay.
Bad. As I just watched it for the second time. I just finished it for the second time like last week, and then I
Okay.
also have watched Better Call Saul. So I think I'm gonna rewatch that again. I still don't know which one is my favorite because they're both just
And what's the second one
amazing
called?
shows. Better Call Saul. It's a spinoff of Breaking Bad.
Okay. So what do
Yeah.
you like about Breaking Bad? Because if you watched one season, if you watched it once and then you watched it again, what made you be like, yeah, this is my show? Like, what do you like about it?
I would say just the twists and turns, like just the writing aspect, because that's what I want to get into, a screenwriting, just the writing
Hmm.
aspect of it.
Yeah.
It's always something new. Like Walter White, that's the main character's name. Walter, he's just it's like every episode he's trying to be this person, but
Hmm.
other things going on in the background cause him to do this or to do that, and it's just a great show, man. Like
Good.
really,
I like that. I think, like you brought up, sometimes with shows, they just, as time goes on, they just fall down, they get worse. But for a
yeah.
show that keeps your attention every time and it's something new, you can't lose that. I don't really watch TV like that. I told you I'm caught up with the housewives.
Yeah.
I can't with them. It is what it is. But
Mm.
honestly, I have been looking forward to watching this documentary. It was a show that came out a while ago, a documentary called like something about Natalia Grace, and it was this girl. She was small. There was like a issue about how old she really was. So basically, she telling her side of the story because the
Okay.
family they seemed a little crazy, and they told their side of the story. But now she gets to speak for herself. So I have that queued up on HBO, and then I have this show called The Traitors that I love.
Huh?
It has 3 seasons to it. The third season just came out. It's like I don't watch Big Brother or The Challenge or Survivor, but it's one of those
Ah,
kind of shows. And so
okay.
people from Survivor, people from Big Brother, people from all reality TV shows, even the Housewives, they get to be on this show. And so they pick some. They're all in this all playing in this house. And the guy Alan, he chooses who the traitor is. And so basically, you don't know who the traitor is. So it's a game of traitors and faithfuls, and it's a new season. Um,
You said
some of
it's called what again?
the traders.
The Traders. That's not on Peacock, is it?
Oh, yes, it is. Yes, that's where I
That's
watched
what
it
I thought.
at.
Okay, that's
Yes,
okay, yeah.
yes. I'm
It's
like, you
funny you
probably
say that.
seen it.
Yeah.
I watch it. I like the first season. So the first season they did like just regular people versus celebrity, like people who were on game shows, celebrities. And then last season they kind of like did housewives. That's when they kind of mingled up all the people that did like Big Brother, The Challenge. And then this season they're still doing the same thing, bringing on people from other reality shows, but Ellen has all of these new rules and stuff. Like the game isn't what we're used to. So I'm
Ah, okay.
interested. I started watching, I think 3 episodes got released. I don't know when it came out, but I watched episode 1 and 2, and that's what I've been watching. So if you ever do want to watch it, I say watch season 2. I think
Okay.
season 2 was a good season. It's a good game. I can say it is a game that can mess with your mental. At the end of the day, you got to remember it's a game, and some people they really get in their feelings about how people lie to them and deceive them. But
Yeah.
it gets down to that type of, that's what the game comes down to, lying. So if you ever get bored and you need some background noise, turn it on. But
Okay.
I want to turn it over, and I would love for you to share your story, just what your journey through college, who you are today, what has made you who you are, and where you are. So go ahead, Tim. The show is
Okay.
yours.
Okay. Well, I'll start off with this. Like you mentioned before, the way we know each other, you're my sister's best friend, as well as mine. I'll just say that. So the reason that I went to college in the first place, honestly, is because of my big sister Mackenzie. As you know, you guys met at Hampton University, the real HU. You feel me?
Y'all heard him, the
And
real HU.
the
He
real
don't
and the
even go to
original
Hampton.
and the original. You feel me? But anyway, so I think, um, how should I say it? So what got me, is Mackenzie, or not Mackenzie, but Hampton. They had a parents' weekend, and so me and my mom, we came down, and just seeing my sister and how just how comfortable she was in a whole different state. Because we from Detroit, Michigan, and for her to go to Hampton, Virginia, it was just like it's a whole nother state. It's a whole nother different environment. Different people, and just seeing how comfortable she was around everybody, and the fact that she went to a HBCU. So every time you looked around, you just saw another black person, which was very comforting. And just all the friends that she met,
Yeah.
the wonderful and beautiful Miss Jada Marie.
Ah, thank
Love that
you.
lady, yeah,
Oh,
love that
thank
girl.
you.
So
Thank you.
yeah, it's just just watching how she was, in that city, and I was just like, yeah, because before that, I truly didn't want to go to college. I just
Okay.
wanted to. Honestly, I was just cool with graduating high school, getting a
Mm-hmm.
job, and
Mm-hmm.
just living. But which honestly, you know, a lot of people do that. There's nothing wrong with doing that,
Right.
but I just after I just couldn't do that to myself.
Okay.
So
So when you
yeah.
said like at first you were just gonna go to school, you were gonna be done. I know for me, it was hard for me to choose what I was gonna go to school for. I applied to school undecided because it's like I don't know what I want to do. So was it like your senior year? And even when you did decide, okay, I do want to go to college, how did you even decide this is what I'm gonna major in? This is the route that I'm going to take. How did you come up with that?
Something that not a lot of people know about me is I always I love writing. So I used to write books. I remember Nana, she had a computer when we stayed in these apartments called Merwood. And she had a computer and I would just be in her office for hours just writing stories and just writing a book. And just going from that, so, I always love going to the movies. That is thankful to my grandfather. He always took me to the movies. And so, just those two things, I had to think about it, like what's something that can combine both of those? Because I don't necessarily think acting is really for me, but being behind the camera and either writing or producing or even directing, I'm like, yeah, that's definitely like my lane.
And
So
people don't
that's how I
know,
picked it.
and people don't realize how hard it is to be behind the scenes, but how rewarding it is to be behind the scenes. Because when I was in school, I thought that I was going to be on the news, and I was just listening and just watching how you had to mold yourself and present yourself. And I was like, that ain't me. Anything that I do, I'm going to show up and I'm going to truly be me. And I think, like,
Excuse
as
me.
I continue to, just discover myself and my purpose, I kind of feel like I'm discovering the same thing like you. Like, I like working behind the scenes. I like editing things. I like being
Yep.
that person behind making everything that you see look seamlessly, like it's
Done.
done, but they don't realize the hard
Hard
work.
work.
So tell me about like your freshman year. Were there any like opportunities that you were able to take that helped you know, like, yes, this is what I'm doing, is this is what I want to do? Explain when your mom and your sister dropped you off. What happened?
I'll say what kind of made me know like I was on the right path I would say my English courses. Um, you know, because you always as soon as you get to college, you have to get like the core stuff out the way, and so that's like mainly what I did my freshman year, is just getting all the core stuff out the way. But I know I excelled specifically in my English class because it's mainly just writing and reading, but it was specifically more so writing, and I
Mm-hmm.
just I feel like every assignment I just knocked it out the park. And my professor, she was a very sweet lady. She even wrote all of us, like all of her students, she wrote us all like a personal letter at the end of the year. I still have it. I have to find it. But
Yeah.
that was really sweet of her, and I had never had a teacher or a professor do that before. Where they took time out of their own day to handwrite a letter to everybody. And one of the things that she mentioned in the letter was she loved hearing my stories, and she also said she felt like each assignment I just got better and better. And so that was just like the reassurance and the
Yeah.
confidence that I needed in myself.
We love
So yeah.
we love a great professor, teacher, any. I don't think those people know how important they are. So tell me
Right.
what you like to write about, because I love to write, but I like to journal. Like, so what when you were writing, when you were using your nana's computer, or even when you were writing in school, like, what do you like to write? What are these things that you're writing?
Okay, well, I started back when I was at Nana's house. I would kind of like try to rewrite the goose. I think, yeah, Goosebumps.
Okay.
I, I would try to like rewrite theirs, and that's something that I kind of picked up on as a kid. Like I always will always try to think to myself like, how can I have rewrote this, or redid this scene? And that's kind of like another reason I wanted to get into this field, is just thinking like, oh, I could have did that better, or yeah,
That's big. Sometimes you don't want to be too cocky, but like, I could take that idea and I could really do it better than how they
knock it
did
out the
it.
park. Yeah.
So, are you more interested in like writing thriller? Do you have a certain genre that you like to write, or it's just you got to let your creativity flow?
Yeah, I'll probably say like specifically, I'll probably say more so drama, because I took a screenwriting class. I think it was my junior year at Clark. Yeah, I think it was my sophomore or junior year. I might have been my junior year. I took a screenwriting class, and for our final assignment, we had to write a pilot episode for a TV show. And
Mm.
for those that don't know, typically, like if you're writing a script, a page that you wrote or like from the script will equal roughly about a minute, shooting time. So like if you have a 50-page script, your show or your movie is gonna be about 50 minutes long. So we
Okay.
had to write a 60 minute pilot episode. Me personally, I was like, oh, okay, bet. You know, I was ready, and um, definitely like let's get to it. But a few of my classmates, you know, they kind of got I'll probably say disencouraged, you know, from the
Mm-hmm.
60. Because, you know, I ain't gonna lie, that is a lot, you know, to
Yeah.
write 60 pages. So my professor, she was nice enough to, you know, like lower it. I think she lowered it to about 40 pages, but I
Okay.
still wrote, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I wrote like 54.
Okay, I know this right. You like,
Yeah,
no, this easy work. And so
yeah.
I know I wonder where your classmates got discouraged because I took a maybe it was a script writing class where I got discouraged. Character development. Character development is like crazy because now I have to you have to think of so much
Every
about
little
your
thing.
character. Do you like character development?
I was about to say that's low-key
Yeah.
one of my favorite things. Yeah,
Man. And then whenever we were writing the script, the one thing that my professor kept saying was like, you can't kill off the characters. Like that's the easy way out type of thing. And I'm like, oh my goodness, like killing off a character is the easiest thing to do.
yeah.
So I did appreciate that class. But overall from film for me, I loved cinematography. That was my favorite class. And I feel like you like film, but you said you still like to go to the movies. How do you stop yourself from viewing the movie in that lens of like, like the
I know
editing
what you're
and
saying. Yeah,
yeah.
because
How do
it's
you feel?
crazy. Because I was watching. What was I? Actually, I was watching Breaking Bad the other day, and I
Huh?
was watching it, and it was just like a very simple scene. It was somebody. It was two people walking up, meeting another two people, and I was just sitting there thinking, like, that's one camera angle. That's two. That's
Mm-hmm.
three. That's four. No, that's the same angle as two. Oh, that's five. So it's kind of hard. It's like I
Uh-huh.
really will have to like really like tell myself like 10, bro, don't
Just
do it.
watch it.
Yeah, but also the cool one of the cool things that my professor that she told us from my screenwriting class, she told us to like do stuff like that, you know, as you like watch a TV show, like think about it, like or just think about how it would appear on the script. That's one of the coolest things that she told us to do, and I feel like it was the coolest thing because it's true. Like you got like you can like really sit like if you know it like the format and everything, you can really sit back and like really put the script in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought that was super cool. So yeah,
Well, you're in Atlanta, and I just, because now that you said certain watching Breaking Bad, you can tell this was this angle, this was that angle.
yeah,
I watched Tyler Perry to critique Tyler Perry for a person. I don't even call myself an expert in film, but I can call out all of his stuff because it just, even when they're in the filming at night, I'm like, I could tell that there is a light like
right
shining
there.
over them. So do you like Tyler Perry? How do you feel about his work? I know he gets like a lot of criticism, but then he also gets a lot of love. I just want to know where you stand because you're in Atlanta and I just want to know how you feel about his work.
Excuse me. A lot of people always ask me that question. I'll say this. Um, I like his Medea lane. I would say that. Um, but some of the other stuff, it's not necessarily for me. Like A Fall from Grace, I remember I watched that. I watched that with my mom, and we just she could tell you this too. Like the entire time we were watching the movie, we just every like 20 to 30 minutes we would stop it and be like, "Did you see that? Like, are you like what? Like what was that?" But I mean, you
That's
know,
Tyler Perry. Did you see that? Did you hear that? Did they really just say that?
say
I
that,
have
yeah.
I have this joke where I feel like Tyler Perry doesn't even give people a script. I feel like he's like just feel the vibe because some of the things that the characters are saying, I'm like, there is no way this is written down. Like, I can't
Yeah,
believe that that's written down.
yeah, like
So
the ashtray.
yeah, but see, the only thing that's popping up in my head that I recently watched was Beauty in Black. And here's the thing with Tyler
Mm,
Perry, like it's like I see his potential, I see where he's trying to go with it, and it gets to the point where I can ignore this bad acting, I can ignore the whole bad like just film setup, but it's like he's almost there, but then he just misses it. And it some of his stories, I don't know where he's coming from. I just think that, like you said, his Medea movies, the plays,
I
those
was
are
just about to say that.
definitely
Yeah,
those are. things that I
Try-
enjoy, things that I
Yeah,
like. I understand he still wants to get into the big motion pictures and things like that, but as long as the people getting paid and they don't have nothing to complain about, good for them. But Tim, tell me about some of your opportunities, like working at the radio station, just opportunities that you were able to take at school to help you be where you are. You got something to share, so go ahead.
yeah. Okay, so I work at WCOK. We are Atlanta's number one Atlanta jazz station. And the reason why I got in, or the reason I got into that job was I was just walking around our mass media building at Clark, and there was this gentleman there that I had seen him like literally every single day, and this was my junior years when I started working there, and so I'm a mass media arts student, so I go in the mass media building every single day, and so for like 2 years I just kept seeing this gentleman, but I'm like, he doesn't teach anything, so I just one day I randomly stopped him. I asked him like, "What do you do here?" And then he was just telling me like, "Oh yeah, we have a radio station. He worked at the or not work. He works at the radio station." And to my luck, I asked them at the right time because they were having an internship informational like the very next week. So he walked with me. He showed me like their flyer for their internship, and
Mhm.
he just told me to come by. And I will admit I had little to no expectations walking into it. It was probably about me and I'll probably say four other students max that went to the informational. But I truly was the only one that worked there, I believe. And I
Yeah,
feel like the main reason a lot of people get turned off from working specific internships is because it doesn't pay. So like
yeah,
my internship, it didn't pay, but I truly wasn't worried about, getting paid because I knew
hmm,
getting the experience, getting to, know these people, get to know the connections. I knew that would pay way more dividend than any monetary
yeah,
thing could have hit my pockets.
yeah.
And so, yeah. So I
So,
love working there.
so you worked, but what did you do? What do you do at the radio station, or do you not work there anymore?
Oh, no, I still do.
Okay, so tell me what you do.
Yeah, I'll start off with this. First, my first semester junior year, when I worked there, I was a volunteer. I wasn't technically an intern,
Hmm.
but after I was a volunteer, they wanted to hire me on as a actual intern, which still was unpaid, which was cool. But that was my entire junior year, and then towards the end of my junior year, we had a few talks about me possibly becoming like a paid employee, and so I am glad to say that I am officially a paid employee at
Uh-huh.
WCOK, which is really cool.
Yes.
But I am a producer, or not producer. I'm an assistant producer. Well, actually, I
Okay.
think I am. I am now a producer. Yeah, because I do produce my own show. Oh,
Yay.
it's not my show. It's Mr. Rashawn McDonald. He's a very well-known producer,
Okay.
writer. He wrote for Sister Sister, the
Okay.
Jamie Foxx show, on the Steve Harvey show, and the list just go on and on and on. And he has a weekly show every Tuesday on the
Okay.
radio station. And he personally pulled me aside one day and he told me that he wanted me to excuse me to produce his show because he wanted me, to get that experience. And
Mm-hmm.
I just thought it was like super dope and super cool that a man of his magnitude saw the potential in me and wanted me to, and he trusted me to do this because
Yes.
it's a live show, so any mess ups that I have, you can hear it on live on the air as it's happening, and so just that he had that much trust in me, I was like, wow. So
I love that.
yeah, so of course, I went into it head first, because I feel like that's the best way you can learn sometimes is to fully immerse yourself into it. And
And like you
to this
said,
day, I haven't messed up on anything.
yeah,
So,
and he trusted you. He knew you could do it. And like you said in the beginning, which is something that I'm working on, you got to take risks. You don't know where though. You never know where it can land you. And also, just going through college, just the things that you have said from the professor, just it's all about making connections and networking. It
yep,
takes you so far, and
so
you
far.
just showing up with that energy, ready to learn. That man saw your full potential. And like you said, he wanted me to produce the show. So, as far as radio and producing a show, did anything else come from that, or are you still doing a show? You like what you're doing? Do you I know when I used to work at the radio station, we had shows that we would produce and work behind the scenes on, but I also volunteered to work the games. So like basketball games and football games, you would take them on to commercial, bring them back, things like that. Do you guys do that at the radio station too?
Not like necessary games. I'll say we had one event. I didn't go to it, but we had one event at the Atlanta airport.
Mm-hmm.
And that was pretty cool. Because I actually I went there the day before, which is like when we were kind of like um kind of like scoping out the area where they were going to be at. That was pretty cool. I feel like I was the man because I went with my main producer, Mr. Jami. That's my guy. He's like a big
Mm-hmm.
brother to me. I went
Mm-hmm.
with Jami, one of our radio personalities. His name is Ray, Mr. Ray, and then
Okay.
our program director, Mr. David Linton. And it's
Uh-huh.
all black men, all excellent black men. And
No,
of
that's
course,
right.
I'm
Black
the youngest.
excellence.
Yeah, I'm the youngest. We went in the company car. I just felt like I was
Oh,
that guy.
you are.
Yeah, I just kept smiling, just thinking like, wow, I'm really like, I just felt so official when I went there,
And
and
that's
I didn't even do anything.
no, but you're deserving, and that's the thing. Like you are so deserving, and they can tell how you want to learn, and you're not somebody, some people, they could be annoying, they could be, all up in people's face, those people who just want to know these people because of what they do, but they see something in you, and there's a reason why they're taking you along. And the fact that you could sit here and say like it makes you feel good, you feel like you that man, you are, that's the reason why you're with them, you are. So that's
Yeah.
junior year, and then tell me some things about senior year. Like what have you done senior year that you would like to talk about as far as your
Um,
career?
I'll start off with what happened in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
So my advisor, at Clark, his name is Mr. Gary Yates. Again,
Okay.
that's my guy. I just keep saying it, but I just love
Hey,
all the people
shout
that's
them
around me.
out. Yes, you
Yeah,
shout them people out because even though you say thank you, I don't, sometimes people don't realize how appreciative and people are of them and the work that they do. So shout them out. They'll hear you. Go ahead.
yes, that's my guy, Mr. Gary Yates. He's my advisor, and he's just one of those people that really, can see the potential in me, and so he pulled me aside one day, pulled me into his office, and he was telling me about this university that was having their first like HBCU immersion, which is where they brought HBCU students to their campus, and they just wanted students to roam around their graduate school and just get a feel of the university. And that university was the illustrious Syracuse University, and so Syracuse University, they flew me and about 20 other HBCU students out. They flew us out, they housed us, put us in a hotel, paid for our flights, and we were fed, every single day. So they literally paid for everything while I was out there, and all I had to do was just check out their master's program. And Again, I'm gonna shout somebody else out. My guy Wes,
Uh-huh.
he works over at Syracuse University, and we just both instantly clicked. Both of us, just being from Michigan. He's from Pontiac, Michigan. I'm from Southfield, Michigan. So just us, being we were in New York, but we both grew up and were bred in Michigan. So we just kind of clicked on that. And Wes, that's my guy. You feel me? So shout
Shout
out to
out
him for
West.
so yes. Shout out to Wes, yeah. And so
Okay.
yeah, like I said earlier, he's kind of, one of the main big reasons I really wanted to go to Syracuse was because of him. And so, we exchanged numbers. I've been in contact with him, and I'll say this also. It's January 12th, so the new year just happened.
Yes, it did.
And so, I was kind of, I am a smart guy, so I was kind of plotting. I was like, let me text my guy Wes and, tell him Happy New Year. So I texted him Happy New Year. Of course he replied, said the same thing back. And then the last thing that I left him with was I said, I hope I get to see you on campus, but as an admitted student to Syracuse. And then, of course he said, yeah, I hope that happens. And not even 5 days later, I got an email from Syracuse University accepting me into their master's program. So yeah,
Congratulations to Tim. Woo, woo. I
thank
wish I
you,
had like a bunch of noises to be
confetti.
all of
Yeah,
that because you deserve all of the celebration and everything because again, some people they have to take breaks. Sometimes it's hard to focus on your senior year and focus on grad school, but you did it. So
yeah.
Tim, when will you be going to New York? How do you feel about getting accepted and how do you feel about going from well you went from Michigan to Atlanta and now you're going to a big
New
state,
York.
you're going to New York. Tell me
Yeah.
how that makes you feel.
Honestly, it's a really a big honor because there's like I got accepted already, but they're still accepting applications. Like, and anybody that's graduated undergrad, they can still apply to it. And it's just the fact that I already got accepted. That's just, a huge honor and such a it's just huge to me that I got accepted already. It's just so dope.
You put in the work. What else did you expect? And that's
Yeah,
what people have to think about. I think we live in times, like I said with my last guest, we live in times where people just want things to happen. They don't want to put the hard work in, or it's like, oh, that takes too long, or that's this, and that. But that's the only way that people can know that this is what you really want to do. Because if you're just walking around just trying to see what people can do for you without saying, this is the work that I've done,
I can do. Yeah.
so yeah, it's not gonna work out for you. That's not
What
gonna
can
work
you bring
out.
to the table? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I got one question. If you
Okay.
could work on the set, it can't be Breaking Bad. It can't be any show
Okay.
that you're watching. If you could work on a set right now today of any TV show, whether it's on air or off air, what
Okay.
show would you work on?
Oh boy. I'm gonna shout out another person, my big sister, Mackenzie. She's the one
Okay.
who introduced me to this show. It's on
Okay.
Netflix. It's a great show. It's called The Haunting of Hill House. And
Keep
yeah,
going.
I love that show. And honestly, that's kind of like if I were I'm more so want to do like movies, but if I
Mm-hmm.
were to do a TV show, that format is exactly how I would want to do it. As I introduce like a big problem in the first episode, and then little by little by little by little, I explain it until you get to the very end where it wraps it up. I think the technical term is a slow burn.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
Well, let me
those I
tell
love
you.
those.
Haunting of the Hill House. Oh my goodness. First of all, scary. It was scary, but then I think Haunting of the Bly Manor might have been scarier because I know that they did another like show
Yeah,
based off the person who wrote it, but Haunting of the Hill House. I agree with you. That writing, I don't even like slow burns. I'm one of them people. I stopped watching American Horror Story because of that. I hate when you got to keep watching to figure out what's going on. But like you said,
yeah.
that show, it kind of gave you
Mm.
the problem and then broke it
And rebuild
down.
it. Yeah,
The way that they talked about ghosts, the way that they talked about everything, it changed my whole perspective on ghosts and everything. That show
yep,
was chef's kiss. Like I
yes.
I love that show. I wish like more people, I know some people don't like watching certain things, but I want people to watch it because like you said, because of how it was written, because of how it just all closes up. Even that room in the house at the end
The red
when it
room.
explained, yes, I was like, "Oh my goodness." Like I love shows like that. So,
Yeah,
hey, I would love to see you on that set. That would be cool.
yeah.
So, since you are in your senior year, getting ready to go off to grad school, you have left your home state. Again, I just feel like we have different paths, but it's just so similar down to working at the radio station, meeting these people and the connections, but also going far away from home when sometimes it could be really scary. And I know Mackenzie was probably that first example, like, oh, I could do this. It's not going to be
Yep.
too much. But even when you, first of all, when you got to Atlanta, because when I got to Virginia, there was culture shocks. I was like, what the heck? They're like, you got an accent? I'm like, no, I don't. What was
Yes, I do
like
not
a
have an accent. I
yes.
do not have an
So
accent.
what was a culture shock for you when you went to Atlanta? Like what was like, oh, this is different.
I'll probably say the food, like, because Atlanta is like you just drive anywhere, it's a wing spot right there.
Okay. So in a
It's
good way
it's
or a bad way, the food.
I kind of say both because like it's literally wing spots everywhere, and it's kind of like you have to like decipher like which one because it's almost all the same. Like
It's
all
like
y'all
y'all
doing is serving
conies.
wings.
It's like your
Whoa, whoa,
conies
whoa,
though,
whoa.
right?
Hey,
Y'all got a bunch of conies, but you got to figure out which one is the good coney, right?
okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you
See,
that.
but I get it. Like chicken, like how chicken is different. The conies, that's different. But how many times?
Yeah,
What are you doing different with this chicken? So the food
yes,
was a
yeah.
shock. What did you miss most about home when you were in Atlanta? Was there something like you just missed?
Again, I'm gonna say the food. Cause honestly, I not tell anybody this. Like here, all my friends, I told them I feel like Detroit specifically, we have some of the best food like around.
Okay.
Like yeah,
What's y'all
especially
best
like
food? Cause I'm not gonna lie, y'all not really on my list of good food.
oh,
But
that's crazy.
I can say I did tell your sister because y'all do be going to restaurants that I need to check out. Maybe and even my other best friend, like the places we've been, the food isn't bad. Like it's not bad food, but y'all not beating Dallas right now. Like I had the best steak in Dallas, so maybe I just need to. You need to
I
write
don't
me
know.
a
I've never been
list
to
of
Dallas.
five
I don't know.
write me a list of 5 restaurants that I need to go to. And is
I
it
can do that for sure.
Greek food, Mediterranean food? Is that what you feel like you guys do best at?
But for sure, Mediterranean food.
There you go.
I do not know any other state that makes Mediterranean food like we do.
There we go. Okay. So
Yeah,
I need to try have y'all Mediterranean food. I feel like each state you have to know where what they do good in. And
yeah,
Mediterranean, I think that's where y'all do good. Okay. And
yeah,
so you missed the food and now you get to go to New York. New
yeah.
York is like the real melting pot. What are you most excited about to go to New York for? Like, what just really has you like, I can't wait.
I'll probably say the same thing I was looking forward to when I got down here. It's just getting to know my surroundings. Like I remember my roommate freshman year, Adrian, that's my guy, love him to death. A few times, just when we got here, me and Adrian, we would literally just go outside our dorm, excuse me, and just walk for like hours, just to really get to know the city, the school, and just our basic surroundings. So
And
I'd
you
probably say
should.
that.
You
Yeah, you
should.
definitely need to. Yeah,
That was a big thing for me at Hampton too. 'Cause my freshman year, I didn't get to work, but even like as far as knowing the area for me, it was more so knowing more people just outside of Hampton. Like I really got to know more of the locals, like the people who are from Virginia that live there. So
yeah,
that really made my experience when I felt like I kind of fell off with the whole student life when I moved off campus. When I went to work, I still had these people that I felt like they were family, they were friends. It made me feel a sense of home. You got to know your surroundings. You got to.
yep. Got
Everywhere is
to.
dangerous, so you got to know because
You don't want to be in the wrong place at the
Tim,
wrong
when I tell
time.
y'all, Tim, anything Clark Atlanta, I be texting Mackenzie, anything. It's like, is
Yes,
Tim
I
okay?
know.
Is Tim
Yes,
okay? Because it's pretty scary. Tim has seen some things, but we ain't here to talk about that. Tim is safe. Tim is getting ready to go to New York. So Tim, if you could leave a piece of advice with somebody that's in their senior year or just somebody that's going through college, please leave them with one piece of advice that can just help them get through the unknown times of college.
okay, yeah, I'll definitely say don't be afraid, and don't be afraid, to try new things because, like I stated earlier, I only started working at the radio station like junior year. I'm a senior now, and I really wish I had went there my sophomore year because my mom, she'll tell you like literally every single person that works there from the top to the bottom. If you bring up my name, a big smile is gonna show up on
Yeah.
their face, and they just absolutely love and adore me. And I've never had that at any job I've ever had before. And that's just something that's really cool and really, it's, like it's a lady there. I call her Mama Ricks because she's literally is like my mom on
Yeah.
campus. Like I
Yeah.
love that lady to death.
Hmm.
So just, little things like that. Just don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, to try new things. I'll definitely say that.
Don't be afraid. You might hear some no's, whatever the case may be. But like Tim said, don't be afraid. And I wish that I could have that playing in the back of my head all throughout college because sometimes we are our biggest critics. We are the people. We are the ones that keep ourselves down. So Tim, please share your handles where people can follow you at, where they can keep up with your journey, where they can find you. Share your clothing brand, share your photography platform, and even if you guys don't catch it when he says it, y'all know I will put everything in the description so y'all can go and follow him. Go ahead, Tim. Let them know where to follow you at.
Okay, yeah, my Instagram is all caps TCT underscore Taylor, Taylor. And then my Don Flicks is just at Don DonFlics, no K. And then my Chasing Aspirations is at chasing dot aspirations. But if you go to my TCT underscore Taylor page, you'll be able to see all that. It's in my description. So you kind of like a two for one.
Yeah, y'all better go follow Tim. I told y'all, Tim Taylor. Y'all heard it first on the language. If y'all are in the Atlanta area, I'm pretty sure y'all hear about Tim. Y'all hear him on the radio, or you work behind the scenes, but you never know. Y'all might hear him. Y'all might see him. Be on the lookout. I'm telling y'all, the most important names they be in the credits. They not the ones on the screen. So you will
Nope,
learn
facts.
the ones
Yes.
that y'all see them names on the credits, them the
Yep.
people that's doing big things. So Tim, I want to thank you for your time, for coming on this show. My listeners, y'all know where to follow me. Last week I said my at name on Instagram completely wrong. Y'all can follow me at it's underscore J Marie, two E's. Email me at it's J Marie 9, two E's at gmail.com. And as always, please, please, please leave a review. If you have a show that you love to watch, or a show if you could work behind the scenes on, leave it in the comments. I don't care what you comment, just leave a comment. Leave a
Yeah.
comment telling Tim how proud y'all are of him, because I'm telling y'all, this is only the beginning for Tim. Nipsey Hussle is who he looks up to, and what's the saying that he says?
The marathon continues.
Period. So yes,
Yeah.
y'all, go follow Tim. Go check him out. And as always, I love y'all. I thank y'all for coming to this show. Keep y'all head up above water. I don't know what's going on this week, but like I always tell y'all, protect yourselves. Take y'all vitamins. People are sick. Don't let other people get y'all sick. If y'all need information about how to donate to people who need donations in LA, that is all in my bio. And I love y'all. Tim, I will talk to you later. I love you.
I love you too.
Bye. Oh, we're still recording.